India has been a multi-religious and multicultural society for centuries. Religious harmony has been a bedrock of Indian society. The CSDS survey explored the idea of religious tolerance in India and found out that a remarkable majority of people pack religious pluralism in India. 79% of the respondents, yes, 79% of the respondents maintain that India belongs to all religions equally and not just the Hindus. 79% feel that it belongs to everyone. India only belongs to Hindus 11% and no opinion 10%. So what does it tell us? Mr. Verma, that's what I was trying to tell you, that there are two things happening simultaneously in Indian consciousness. Indian cultural stream or the Indian manas or Bhartiyata. So you have a construction of a Hindu identity, but the same person, when he asked, is there a space for other religion? He says, obviously there is a space for other religion. So it clearly tells us that even if there is a construction of a Hindu identity, it is not opposed to the existence of other religions. Dr. Verma.
Kartike, when you use this word Hindu and Hinduism, let me remind that Hinduism is a value system, and it has been said very well in our Shastra that Dhiti Kshama Damostayam Shaucham Indriya Nigraha Di Vidya Satyam Makrodha Dashkam Dharma Lakshana. Means these are the 10 cardinal values on which the Hindu society operates. And anybody in the world would not find any ritualistic thing in these 10 cardinal values, which are well known to everybody. So when you say Hindu and when you say Hinduism, the first thing, as my predecessor speaker, Mr. Arun, very well put it, that it is an inclusive religion. If you look at it from the frame, because the people outside don't understand the difference between dharma and religion. So we are not a religion. Hinduism is not a religion. Hinduism is a dharma which operates on the 10 cardinal values that I have told you. So when we say Hinduism, it is basically an inclusive, model of way of life. Inclusive model. If you look at the religion, we have crores and crores of ways to worship God, not one. And that's why, let me remind you that when secularism was translated in our constitution, we did not use the word dharm nirpeksh in Hindi because you cannot be nirpeksh with the dharm. You cannot do away with these 10 cardinal values. And that's why the Indian constitution itself translates secularism as panth nirpeksh, which is indicative of the fact that religious behavior, religious practices, they come under the purview of panth. So several panths have been existing. And when we say here that the whole universe is our family, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. So all kind of people, all kind of societies, all kind of rituals, all kind of religions, all kind of cultures, all kind of languages. We have Hinduism is that variety which is par excellence that you don't find anywhere else in the world, which is primarily inclusive. And that's why in our the opening remarks, I told you that when Ram Mandir is being constructed and the people from all over the country are going over there, then that is indicative not only of revival of Hinduist culture or Hinduism, but that is, you see, a national revival. That is the revival of Indian consciousness. That is the revival of Bharatiyata that we call it. And it is inclusive of all religions which are living in India. So we have to be very clear on this point that in Hinduism, what you call is not exclusive, it is very much inclusive, and therefore there is enough space for anybody. I mean, this is the only country where,
sir, my point is very
Hindus,
simple. What do you make of the fact that the same person, the respondent, Professor Biswas, thank you for joining me from Shillong. You see, the question here is, Professor, the first part of our survey was on the construction of the Hindu identity. Well, cutting across class and cutting across caste, all of them felt that it's the pivot. It's an important thing that has happened to the Indian cultural life. But the same respondents, those who believe that the larger Hindu identity is being built, they are also open to the fact that this country belongs to all religions. So it brings me to a very basic question. So a sane person, for example me, who feels that yes, Ram temple is very important, it's most important thing in the last 3 decades, and yes, the Hindu identity is being constructed, and I'm pretty fine by it. And the second question you asked me, Professor, but do you think that India belongs to every religion? And I say yes, absolutely. And out of the same set, 79% say that yes, it does. What does it say?
I mean, this is a kind of a internal contradiction that many Hindus have. On the one hand, they do not want to lose the pluralistic mosaic of culture that India has. But on the other hand, there are hard boundaries that they always construct. They construct hard boundaries against an outsider, against who is considered as an outsider in terms of religious belief, in terms of religious difference. They also construct several internal boundaries, and these internal boundaries are reflected in the kind of micro identities that live within the broader frame of Hinduism. And these micro identities are caste-based, and caste-based micro identities differ widely. Their social background, cultural background, economic status, political participation, all that remains so differentiated. That difference remains as the mainstay of a broader Hindu generic kind of an identity. So these differences cannot be obliterated or effaced by saying that all of us are up to something, or all of us have a common shared project.
Let me just stop you. I have a bite. You say it's an internal contradiction. Okay, fair enough. That's the point. Let me play out the bite of the Prime Minister on the Ram temple. Because 2 issues have come in for. One, there is a construction of the Hindu identity and people are comfortable with it. And the second, India belongs to every religion. The data is here, 79%. And let me just play out the bite of the Prime Minister.
राम मंदिर न कभी चुनाव का मुद्दा था, न चुनाव का मुद्दा है, और न ही कभी चुनाव का मुद्दा बनेगा। अरे राम मंदिर का संघर्ष तो तब से हो रहा था जब भाजपा का जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था। राम मंदिर का संघर्ष तो तब से हो रहा था जब यहां अंग्रेज सल्तनत भी नहीं आई थी। राम मंदिर का संघर्ष 500 साल पुराना है, जब कोई चुनाव का नामो निशान नहीं था। जब विदेशी आक्रांताओं ने हमारे मंदिर तोड़े तो भारत के लोगों ने अपने धर्म स्थलों को बचाने की लड़ाई लड़ी थी। वर्षों तक लोगों ने अपनी ही आस्था के लिए क्या क्या नहीं झेला। कांग्रेस और उसके सहयोगी दलों के नेता बड़े बड़े बंगलों में रहते थे, लेकिन जब रामलला के टेंट बदलने की बात आती थी, टेंट पर जो ताड़पत्री वो बदलने की बात आती थी, तो लोग मुंह फेर लेते थे, अदालतों की धमकियां देते थे। बारिश में रामलला का टेंट टपकता रहता था और रामलला के भक्त टेंट बदलवाने के लिए अदालतों के चक्कर काटते रहते थे। ये उन करोड़ों अरबों लोगों की आस्था पर आघात था जो राम को अपना आराध्य कहते हैं।